army of Iran in Lebanon. And that same terrorist army of Iran, called Hezbollah, was propping up this butcher. This is a question of fact, in Syria. And when the terrorist arm of Iran fell, so did Bashar al-Assad. Right? Anything you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with you describing bad words for President Assad.
Okay, so shall we look up now how many people did Bashar Assad kill? Can we look it up together? Let's Google it together, all right? How? Okay. Well, we're gonna Google it. How?
There was battles.
No. How many people did? Let's look it up. No, I don't want to excuse this. No, let's look it up. How many people did Assad kill? Okay, I just put that into Google. All right, hang on. You do the same thing. Don't believe me. Let's look. Let's see what Google says. All right. Okay. Summary of Assad regime's crimes against the Syrian people. All right. Extrajudicial killings. All right. At least 200,000 civilians, including 23,000 children and 12,000 women. Are you with me so far?
Well, who put this information? Oh, this disinformation. Who put this disinformation?
I just Googled it. Why don't you do the same thing?
Well, Google, the internet full of disinformation. You know,
okay. Yeah, but do the same thing. Now let's go on. Enforced disappearances. 96,321 enforced disappearances, including 2,329 children and 5,742 women. Deaths due to torture. Are you keeping count here?
Why would he do that?
15,102 deaths due to torture. This is a lot of people, including 190 children.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that to his own people?
Okay, that's a good question. Because he's a butcher. Okay, let me keep going.
No, he's not a butcher. He's a doctor.
Let me keep going. Okay, Bashar al-Assad's regime, 81,916,000 barrel bombs, resulting in the deaths of 11,087 civilians.
That's disinformation. You're just
1,800. No, sir. What do you mean it's disinformation? I asked you to look it up. Look at it yourself. I'm going to don't believe it.
Being on the internet doesn't mean it's true, okay?
Sir, look it up yourself.
And Norman, let me say,
if it is on the internet doesn't mean it's true.
Because it's on the internet,
you keep saying, and Norman, information is misinformation. So you claim a lot of things. How can we say you are not based on misinformation? Sean? Second thing. The whole thing is all about Sunni and Shia, right? So who is backing Bashar? Shia. And who is Bashar killing, like what Norman say, all these 250,000 or whatever, Sunni. And then what happened?
His wife is a Sunni. His wife is a Sunni.
His wife is a Sunni and he killed 650,000 Sunni and torturing many of them.
And what happened when you start killing Sunni? You create a lot of refugees. What do they go? All in Europe. Okay? So everything
I think
is
there were 7 million refugees.
And for that, Israel has to empower Al-Qaeda to take over Syria.
Well, no, I don't want to get to Al-Qaeda. I want to get rid of the butcher first, and then we can talk about the next.
Look, we are approaching long-term peace plan.
Assad.
Yeah. We are approaching long-term
Assad is a physician. He's not a butcher. He's a physician.
He's a butcher those people. He butchered those people.
John,
Netanyahu is a butcher. Netanyahu is...
No, sir. Netanyahu didn't kill those Syrian people. Bashar al-Assad killed those people, sir. Let's not lose track of the conversation.
But Israel has the same problems as other Middle Eastern countries now.
No, I don't want to switch over to Israel. We're talking about one person now, Bashar al-Assad, not but Israel. This is not a but Israel.
No.
We're talking about the elimination of a butcher who butchered over 650.
I thought Assad fell. Why is he relevant? Yeah. I thought he's gone.
Because we were explaining how we got to the situation in Syria now. That's how.
Yeah. And it's always
he felt like what, a few months ago.
Sure.
It's always Sunni and Shia. Okay, so right now Israel finally getting rid of this root of the problem. There is not going to be Shiite Islamic nation anymore. There will be only Sunni. Okay, and because of that, no more killing. No more killing.
You think
And
the problem is only Shiite and not Sunnis? You're saying Sunnis don't kill
the
anyone?
problem is Sunni and Shia since 1,400 years.
It's just a question. It's just a question.
Yes. I want to
It was a disingenuous question. You know he wasn't saying that. You're trying to troll me.
Okay, I apologize. But I just want to ask in a good faith. Okay, do you think that the only problem in the Middle
Nobody
East
said
are
that. Nobody said that. So please don't be disingenuous.
Nobody says that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is the conflict between Shia and Sunni since 1,400 years. It's not just Sunni, it's not just Shia. The fact that you have this true faction keep fighting each other since 1,400 years. We have always problem in Middle East, and what they do in modern time is they bring this problem to the West, right? So first they have to train people, brainwash them, and send them to U.S. university to study, and also put money donation to U.S. university, so they start training all the anti-Semitic people. The whole idea is they fight each other. Sunni and Shia fight each other, but they don't like to keep this fun among themselves. They spread it to US, they spread it to Europe, right? And then keep making sure people like Sean going around keep saying whatever you say are misinformation. I'm the only one speaking the truth. Now we have to learn. There are a lot of people like Sean. They are trained to go around and say your information is misinformation. Whatever you get from Google, ChatGPT are misinformation. We do not trust ChatGPT. We do not trust Google. They are twisting the truth and then keeps crying and crying. Baby are dying, children are dying, until you gave up completely what is really truth. No truth. As long as dealing with them, no truth.
Who's them? Can you point to a nation? This is a genuine question.
I know,
What
but
nation
Iran
is
is
I
the
did
first
not
one.
say it's nation.
Syria
Okay.
is the second one. Iran and Syria were responsible for hundreds of
Again,
thousands.
it's
That's a
not
question. Oh my goodness. You said Dave.
question and you are posting
Okay, when you use the term, excuse me, Dave, when you use the word they for me to
Yes,
follow the
I said
conversation, okay, I just asked the clarification. Who's them?
Exactly, but then you put word into my mouth. Say
When?
nation. You should ask the
I
question
asked
in the
which nation. It's a question. Oh my god.
Iran
I did not
and
say
Syria.
nation, but I just
Well,
said
a normal answer.
people.
Okay, he said
These are
Iran.
people. Potentially these are Muslim brotherhood. These are not nation. This could be a certain fraction population of
Right.
Muslim, and this could be 15 to 30%. These are political Muslim and jihadist Muslims.
So
These are not
right.
nations.
So Dave, you're saying that this is something that is trans, like that doesn't belong to specific borders. That it's like a trans global movement, basically. Is that okay?
Trans global movement,
Uma.
which is part of the fraction of the Muslim population, is like somewhere between 15 maybe to 30%. They are political Islam, radical Islam.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I just think that people are very scared of the concept of nuclear weapons, and Netanyahu's arguing that Iran has nuclear weapons.
Well, they
And
should
I
be
don't think-
afraid of Iran getting a nuclear.
Of course. No, but I don't want any place nuked. Not Iran, not Israel, not anywhere.
Only one country has threatened to nuke anybody, and that's Iran.
No, Russia has also has made the
I haven't
claims.
heard Russia say they were going to nuke somebody.
Yeah, they have.
India has
When did Russia say they were going to nuke somebody?
They haven't said they'll nuke. Obviously, Putin's not smart enough.
Okay,
like,
so then
he's
only
very
Iran
smart.
that said they're going to nuke somebody, as I said.
And who did they say they'll nuke? Is that Israel?
America and Israel.
Okay. So they are chanting death to America. Now here's the problem.
No, I'm saying that they said they're going to nuke America. What's the background going on?
Is it me? Oh, it's
Yeah.
my air conditioner. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's
Okay.
very intrusive.
Okay, fair enough. But here's the thing, normal, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Americans, there's a fraction of Americans. That's what I want to try to ask you. There are isolationists who believe we're not involved in the Middle East, so on, and they're rebelling against Trump, and they're arguing that is this a real weapons of mass destruction, or is this fake, like Iraq, where they didn't find weapons? What is your answer to that?
The situation is this. North Korea.
Why are you even asking? Wait, Dave, give me a second to address.
Yes.
Samia, what is your question?
My question is, are the American public...
said that they're getting involved.
No, they're not. But I
still can't hear you. You're not near the phone. Would you mind talking into the phone rather than being on the desk and talking from across the room?
Can you hear me better now?
Well, now that you're speaking into the phone, yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the question.
On the desk and
Okay, so here's the thing, right? A lot of Americans that are with Trump believe this isolationist first America argument, which is that we don't want to get involved.
About these Americans.
I wasn't done though, but okay, never mind. Because you're sexist and you don't like to answer questions. Never mind.
I love to answer questions. I just said, what is your question?
Okay, my question is.
And why would you call me sensitive?
Because
probably the least
oh my God, Sarah. Okay, she's coming to clean me out. Okay,
Sarah, let me talk.
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. I didn't say you. I said him.
It doesn't matter.
I want to hear the questions.
No, I can't, Normal, because you have your bodyguard here. Okay, thank you.
I want to hear your question to me. Please say it.
Okay. The question is that, okay, so the American first people are rebelling against Trump. The question is, does Iran has fucking weapons of mass destruction, yes or no? That's what everyone's scared about. Or Netanyahu doesn't say that?
He never said that, no.
No, never. Okay, you're bluffing. No, that's my only question.
You're not being honest. What's your question?
I never said you're dishonest. I'm saying that you were arguing that this is not a... Okay, Netanyahu, who's the leader of Israel, said that Iran is 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from weapons of mass destruction. Yes or no?
He said a nuclear bomb. He said he's uranium, not weapons of mass destruction.
Okay, so a nuclear bomb is not a weapons of mass destruction, no?
Well, what you're saying is vague, and I'm being exact. Because weapons of mass destruction was Iraq, I don't know what, 20 years ago.
Normal, you're manipulative. You're manipulative. I'm done.
I'm not manipulative. I'm being precise. I'll tell you what Netanyahu said, and then you can ask the question if you have one. Netanyahu said that Iran is racing towards creating a nuclear bomb, and that the most dangerous country in the world did not have the most dangerous weapon in the world. That's a quote. And the International Atomic Energy Commission agrees. So American intelligence, and Israeli intelligence, and the International Atomic Energy Commission agree. So what's your next question?
And Norman, she's gone.
Every time you answer the question, they run away. Why is that?
No, because her intention is just to create confusion. It's the way they are being brainwashed. They only know how to contribute to confusion.
This is a really disturbing sign.
I know, it's the way how they're being taught, brainwashed. They only know how to contribute confusion. They're not interested in truth. They use this to create TikTok and all this thing to increase their influence, status and all this thing. Truth is...
The what status? What?
Yeah. I mean, they could be doing like TikTok. They could be recording whatever we say to promote themselves. They're not interested about truth. They just want entertainment.
I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Sorry?
I said I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Ah, I see. So you know her. Okay.
Very dishonest. I asked the same question of the Palestinians that you've been in the room with me, right? Now these are people. Oh, Palestine, occupation, babies, all of this stuff. So I asked the question: which part is occupied? You know what they usually say? All of it. In other words, they wanted, They wanted to
This,
destroy the state of Israel. What?
This pro-Palestine movement is now a lifestyle, right? So it's an interesting lifestyle. If you're Hollywood, you say pro-Palestine, you get business, you get to play in a movie and all this thing. And anyone who stand up and say, I'm not pro-Palestine, they are kicked out of Hollywood. It's just a lifestyle.
I'll tell you. I say, which part is occupied? They take all of it. Maybe you were there. I said, really? What else is New York occupied? Yes. How about the Vatican? Is the Vatican occupied yet? Then I say the other question. When did this land become yours? Since when was it ever your land? And you know what, Dave? They never, ever have an answer. You want to know why? Because they know very well it was never their land. They're just lying. They know, and if you ask them a direct question,
the most interesting part is like recently, right? Somebody create a movement, right? So people from Europe, people from Canada, US, they all come to Egypt with the aim to try to get to Gaza, right? And try to with their presence, just like Reagan. Yeah. So if you hear how they talk to a group of Egyptian soldier standing as a line blocking them. This guy was just keep saying everything that a typical pro-Palestine was talking. People are crying, children are dying, people are starving. They were talking and shouting, right? The Egyptian soldier not moving at all. They cannot imagine that they are here now as a Westerner and they are talking something that are going to make the Arab people, very proud, but they end up facing all kind of fight back, by the Badoon and all these people. You see, they are completely living in a total different world. They believe the fact that by having Westerner fighting for equal rights, like what this guy was saying, Sean, if you give equal right to Palestine, everything will be okay. These people, Westerner coming to Egypt, we are fighting for equal right, and they never even imagine once that there will be a fight back from the Egyptian people. They never imagined this is possible, because in their world, this is never going to be possible. They are living in a whole different world completely. That's why they can keep saying all kind of nonsense. They're not living in reality.
You're right, Dave. You're not living in reality. So that's happening with these guys. Say to them, when did that land become yours? I know the Ottoman Empire had it, and I know that the British Mandate offered to give you a country, and you said no, and Israel said yes. So when does it become your land?
And the big problem is, how is it possible that this non-reality information would mobilize so many Westerners? Jordanian king now is preaching the same thing today to European Union Parliament. It's doing right now. So the question is,
What does he say?
They say we need to look into Gaza, that he's hoping to pitch for the two-state solution, right? So the last time he came to Europe was in Germany. Today he went into European Parliament. The question is, they believe Westerners are stupid. There are certain percentage of Westerners are stupid. You can tell them all kind of shit. Just keep singing the song Equal Right, just like Sion doing. Equal right is very popular. You say equal right.
Who is Sion?
The guy just now, Sean just now with us. Yeah. So
did you tell him that Assad killed 650,000?
No. The whole thing is not. The problem is Westerner. Sean, try again here. Equal right. You give equal right to Gaza, there will be no more fighting. They will be okay. And then Sarah said, yeah, it will be okay until they keep reproduce until Israel become an Arab nation, right? So they believe you can misinform the Westerners, and those people like Rita coming with this vote, and then this group of Westerners gather through social media from different parts of Europe and Canada and US, gather Asia. they all can be easily fooled. And that's why the IRGC call them the very good, useful idiot from the Western nation. And they still don't realize. It's amazing.
I thought Samia was a good faith, a good faith arguer, a good faith talker until just now. She's obviously just talking nonsense. If I say one thing, she says something else. If I say Bashar al-Assad, she goes, yeah. If I say, when did it become their land? She goes, well, the settlements, the West Bank. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of lies and nonsense.
It's also the way she posed the question. She could putting words into your mouth. She could coming up with misinformation as her opening statement and question. So this is the way. And
then she's gonna have a bodyguard. I have a bodyguard. I want to hear from her. Then she said, so she's gonna want to throw the whole conversation off track.
It's always like that, right?
It's always like that.
Yeah, they try to change the topic every 1-2 sentence so that you never can track how many misinformation can squeeze in within 1, 2, 3 seconds. This is their technique.
You heard them. You got it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, and what the Jewish people have to do, which we have get better and better, not to keep like they taking the carrot. Look, within one sentence I have 3 carrots. Next sentence I have 3 different carrots, and then the Jewish people were busy tracking each carrot and debate, and then they keep spinning off.
It's a picture of my cell phone's recording a phone.
You're absolutely right, and I just said that's why I said let's go one point at a time. Talk about
exactly.
You say genocide. Let's
Right,
talk about it.
are we all just cell phones now? I mean, nobody really lives in real lives anymore.
This
Everybody
only
just looks
work
at their
in a
fucking
very
cell phone all day,
well-structured
right?
clubhouse
Is this how you
like
get all the
Gary's
Jewish
room, Uncle Steve's room.
That's right. I'm the only one looking at my own work.
Or you can be like me. I'm willing to fight.
I am psyoping the psyop.
They always run. They run away from me.
Exactly.
You want to talk genocide?
Currently, I'm recording El Normo and Dave talking about genocide.
Well, then they want to talk about it. You think it's apartheid? What's the definition of apartheid? Then they change the subject again. Now they're going to say Balfour Declaration. I said,
Don't you know this is all just one psychological observational study to detect neuroticism?
That's the how they will
This
train.
room, that room, does it matter?
Once you start listening to them, once you start following them, and
It's all
sometimes you're in a
linear.
certain room where
Algebra.
the senior members start training the junior member. This is how you do it. This is now we brainstorm.
Where's this guy from?
brainstorm
South
the next
Korea?
round of deception. This is how they're doing it. They keep coming back and they throw you all
Listening
kinds
to Dave talk
carrots
to El
and see how
Normo.
you respond, and then
Don't
get
you know
this
Dave?
information and go back. Let's brainstorm for the
He thinks
next
the
round.
Jews want
right?
to build a
And
temple.
if whatever works, they use it in real
They
life.
said Andrew
They
Meyer's
use it
gonna
in Europe, they
be the
use it
lead
in
digger.
the US, they use it in Canada.
Don't you know
So-
McZed's gonna be
So
the high
y'all
priest?
are the good
They
way
all want a
for
jobs
them to
program at
generate
the
new
temple
leads.
in Jerusalem.
Others. You understand? Norman. That's how they work.
They're giving you a migraine or something? Aren't you supposed to be Neo from the Matrix?
I don't think they have any answer to the way that
No, they
Daniel or me, we don't take
You have
it.
the N-word Tourette syndrome.
no defense.
Have you
They
told
have
your
no defense,
therapist
but
about
they-
your
they only-
N-word Tourette
but they have no
syndrome?
defense against you, but you are
I'm
just one
asking
of
you a
billions of
question.
people.
How
There are
many
stupid
times a
people out
day
there
do you
which
say
are
the
totally
N-word?
defenseless with their misinformation. You get
What
it?
you need to do is
Miss
fess
and
out,
dish.
recognize what you want.
So the question now is are we now making progress? Yes. Why?
Let's say
Once we finally get rid of
Donald Trump is the
Shia
only true president.
nation
Obama
like
is the
Iran,
only true president.
IRGC, we return democracy back to 85% of Iranian people who truly want their country back, right? Then this removes the fundamental roots of problem that always impact Middle East since 1,400 years. The fight between Shia and Sunni. Yeah, and this fight prevent peace in Middle East. Without peace in Middle East, Europe cannot solve its migration politics. Without Europe solving the migration politics, each of European nation, the 2026, actually maybe half of it, because the Eastern European, they're willing to pay money than to take in any Muslim, right? And so it's the other half. Many of the nations are divided to one part where say no more immigration, the other part totally still living in la la land, right? So that's all. We are making progress, and we just have to understand their strategy, what is their end game, and the end game is very close now. So we are making good progress. And also today,
Do you believe the military
Efficient for not a single country in this world. It just started a major nuke reaction from everything.
They were a paper tiger.
well, Norman.
These people can't fight. They can't fight, Dave. This is what's
No,
unbelievable.
and Norman. The other thing is, how could 200 missile first day, second day 100, right? And then the third day went down to 35. First, they shoot a lot of missile, and who protected the people in Israel from having like 300 over missile and still less than 30 people die, right? So that is another miracle. That is actually worth talking about. That is a miracle.
What, that we took out the missile batteries so that there's fewer and fewer missiles to fire?
No, that is one point, but the point is 300 over missile came over 2-3 days. Very few people died. That is a miracle.
Right.
That should be
30
celebrated.
people, yeah.
Yeah, that should be celebrated.
Is it
right?
300 missiles?
I think first day was 200, and then the IDF keep taking down all the launchers. By second day, they can only at one time launch 100. I think by the third day, they can only launch one time 35 or something like that. So the IDF keep taking down the launcher, and Iranian IRGC claim some people think they have up to 2,000. So launcher is the limiting factor. If take down the launcher, even though they have a lot of missile, they can't shoot many at one time, and that is exactly how you save life in Israel.
Thank you for being on our side. I really thank God for you.
El Normo, what's it like being, such a unique individual? Because you do have a lot of history inside of your memory. And when you talk to people on this app, I mean, they demand things of you, but they don't give the things that they demand of you. So it's like, has your life always been like this, or is it a new thing?
I mean, what are you saying? How do I answer their bullshit with honest truth? Is that, what are you saying exactly?
I guess, yeah, what I'm saying is like,
I hate lies. I hate it. I hate people lying. And I hate it. I hate the fact that people are so brainwashed, and I hate the fact that people, they want to kill Jews. It's just really upsetting to me. And the whole liberal idea is, I'm going to let you live, you're going to let me live, let's live together and make a nice life. And America did that, and now they want to tear it down. And I want them to see that this is what they're doing. They're using our humanity as a weapon against us with all that baby stuff. The babies. I mean, they know that Israel isn't killing babies. What does that mean, killing babies? Give me a break. Arden, why are you saying that? My Jewish friends say I'm an artist. That's not true. Their Jewish friends are in this room.
Well, I don't know. I think you just have like a great gift for this type of, I guess, combat, you could call it, linguistic combat on here. You truly are like a gem, because when your light really activates, when you see all the attack, you're basically Tel Aviv. Everyone on here is a rocket launching at you. And so it is like candle to the moth, you know, the moth to the candles. I mean, you're the light. So what I don't understand is like it has to be psychological, meaning people are so polarized with politics, talking about it, reading about it, having their biased opinions, and but also they're not dealing with their personal problems. So like that's a reason why a lot of this is happening, you know, on this app, meaning the communication exchange on here is a deficiency in their personal lives. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here in the first place. I mean, some people, you know, maybe are in a position to be here, but how can this type of communication be fruitful for most of the incoming rockets towards you? It's not. So it's like I don't know. I'm just observing and trying to come up with some at least communication theories, sociological theories, psychological theories, therapeutic theories.
El Norman, are you still there, El Norman?
Oh, I was talking. Thank you for the nice thing. I forgot to unmute. I'm like multitasking times 10. Thank you for the nice things he said, John. And, I appreciate the way you're trying to understand what's going on in the world with communication theory and with Jewish theology. And are you impressed that I went ahead and bought that book that you recommended, the Tanya book?
Yeah, it's a good book. It's a
That's very
very
nice.
yeah. It's you know I just see so many overlays really between all world religions, and if you know religion is politics though because once you become a gift of the gabber, even with you know the word or the this type of spiritual intelligence, I don't know. To me, it kind of depoliticizes me, and then sometimes I become hyper politicized. Like it is a polarization thing. I mean, but I want to always be in the middle. You know, I want to be balanced and have equilibrium because you can't really win any kind of games if you're in a state of disequilibrium.
And Norman and John, I just want to share that U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, sent a long text messages to Trump, and Trump shared that messages publicly. I urge you all to take a look. It's very well written.
Now, who is this? Huckabee said what?
The ambassador of U.S. to Israel sent a long message to Trump, right? Because he understands Trump now has to make a decision, and the message was written very nicely, very well, and urging Trump to listen to him with a capital H-I-M, him.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now I get it.
Yeah, please read that. It's very nice. And anybody who wants long-term Middle East peace plan to come through, pray that him would give a right guidance to Trump so he would be more decisive what to do next. Because the G7 at the G7, right? Macron is pushing for a ceasefire, and then I think Gary also said that today in his critical thinking forum that Trump in the Air Force One telling people no, he did not agree with the ceasefire. So there's a lot of misinformation going on among the political leader who attended the G7, right? So and that add additional layer to Trump to think. First, there are people in US what they think. First, then there are political leader from Europe what they think, and then the actual need what is going on in Israel and Iran and the big picture of Middle East.
So there's a lot of burden on him, and that message from Mike Huckabee summarized honestly. He said, "See, Truman, no president has to face this kind of burden." Okay, and Norman, please go and check out the text.
And the question is whether the U.S. should jump in.
I think there's a lot of confusion. A lot of Americans who are here keep saying that, they worry U.S. will be involved. There are many rooms here in Clubhouse. They worry U.S. be involved. The question is, nobody know what involved mean. Actually, from the Israeli side, please give us the bomb, Moab, right? The one that can penetrate through, and the rest we take care. There's no army needed from U.S. on foot in Iran, and also I think IDF do not plan to have foot soldier in Iran. They might have some operative, but not the foot soldier. Most of the foot soldier are in Gaza, right? So people are confused. Everything is confused. People don't care about what is the truth, or maybe there are very few people is able to clear the fog of deception. So basically, U.S. involvement is just defense, helping all the missile coming in, shoot them down. Right? U.S. involved in refueling of the aircraft of IDF. That's it. And the last request is, please give us the bomb, yeah, to just destroy completely the nuclear facility, and that's it. The IDF can do the rest. If IDF were to do it alone, they have to keep hitting the place over 2-3 weeks, and it will take forever because it's too deep, the place, some of the bunker. Yeah, that's all. Nothing more. And that for Trump to make that decision is in alignment with the G7 member. No nuclear weapon allowed in Iran. So Trump just have to approve, sending of this weapon to destroy all nuclear facility, and then that's it. Nothing more. And the rest IDF can handle. Yeah, and people just have to understand. People are confused. Oh, they're going to be foot soldier in Iran. America is going to involve, blah, blah. No. Everything can be do it in a very discreet way.
What's up, Norm?
How you doing? Did Dave leave?
I don't know. There's Paul and John here.
Because I modded him in case I wanted to look in the other room.
Hey, there's a John Paul joke there. I'm not crafty enough to make it.
Well, it's good that you saw it. I'm gonna look around and I'll come back.
All right, Norm.
Okay, Marshall.
So, Marshall, do you think the United States should continue sending weapons and money and military support to Israel? Marshall kicked me.
Zero.
Yeah, exactly. He lives in fucking Australia. I doubt it. But, whatever. I'm not going to take that away from him. So if that's what he says, that's what he says.
What's up, John?
What up? Don't you think it's a little ridiculous that people will die on a hill on this app, but yet they don't even live in these areas? They're not impacted by it whatsoever, but they believe that their opinions are 100% correct and that they're infallible. To me, it's so hypocritical and so mentally insane to come on here and project so much all the time when you're not even living there, you're not even impacted, you have no skin in the game, but yet they believe they are 100% correct. It's cringe. And, it's Clown House. Like, yeah, I'm here too. So are you. But let's admit it. Like, this is Clown House and it's for schmucks.
What happened? You were in the room? Another room?
No, I've been recording Jay Bresca all day long, the super Jew of
That
Clown
room is
House.
going all day?
Yeah, you didn't know he's king of the Jews now.
Bro, that guy's so fucking annoying, bro.
He's a felon and a pimp, and now he's Jewish all of a sudden. Everything is my people, my people, my people.
Who is it?
JB.
Who is JB?
He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are my people. He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are...
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, everybody wants to be Joe Rogan or Oprah or Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the new Oprah. And, But anyways, that's the thing is people are chasing clout or some type of content business or something. But, it's pathetic. I mean, it's so stupid. This is trash TV gossip, essentially, on this app.
It's all for clout, bro. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like that con man mentality for clout. And bro, you know what he does is he uses this shit like I should have never did this shit back when Shomi was still a hostage. But we were raising money for him, and he's like, I'll do a room for him, and I'll get people to donate to the GoFundMe for him, and everything like that. So he did a room, and he raised like $1,000 in one room, pretty much. And he uses that like as leverage now. Like, I raised money for the hostages in Israel. I did so much, blah, 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 blah. Like, he said that shit today, bro, in that room. I'm like, dude, that shit makes me cringe when I hear that. It's like, that, you don't do that to make it like clout on yourself, bro. You do that because out of your heart, like as a good person. The fuck is that shit, bro?
Well, there's not a speck of dust out of place. I mean, again, I think this is like a psychiatric holding facility for people. So, again, you don't even know who you're talking to on this app. You don't know anything about these people, but because of language, you develop these relationships. But again, this is all such a huge waste of time that people come here and keep feeding all this data into this app, getting nothing in return. And he likes to say, that's the definition of insanity. If you keep repeating yourself, well, what do you think everybody's doing here? Everybody's repeating themselves.
Those rooms are just shit shows, bro. Just people bashing at each other the whole fucking time. That's all it is.
It's a pot of shit, and you just stir it, and you stir it, and you keep turning and spinning that shit in that pot. You just keep rotating, and every day it's the same fucking pot of shit that they just keep rotating every day.
It literally is every fucking day almost.
Oh, Johnny boy.
Why are you going so hard on the Muslims now? Jeez, like, why are you going so hard on all the Muslims?
Who said that?
I think Princessia said that to me because Sam had a room where he was going through all these hadiths, and there's this one guy on this app who's a lot like Sunan Abi here, who also knows all the racy hadiths.
How dare you compare anybody to me? Go ahead.
So what's so funny is even in Islam, there's like gossip. In these hadiths, it's essentially like the scandal mag for Muslims back in the day where they're like, did you read about this hadith? Oh, you'll never believe how scandalous this one is. Like, they have their own inside jokes, I believe, but they happen to all be like pedophile and faggot jokes. So that's the funny secret thing about Islam is that they also have their own like internal shame and jokes, and whether it's real or not, I don't know. But once you hear it, you're like, how could that be? Like, that's real. Like, and it's considered part of their scripture, their program. So it's like
I'm just
it's
saying,
insane.
if I were to become a Muslim, I would not be a Sunni Muslim because the Shias are right. Because the Shias are like, look how bad all the fucking Sahabas and fucking Aisha talked about Muhammad. Like, she literally calls him a pedophile and a rapist and a piece of shit, and he died by poison. I mean, like, if I was gonna be a Muslim, I'd be like, wait a minute, like, why are we Sunni? Why are we following all these people that talk shit about Muhammad? Oh, that's because Muhammad was a piece of shit. That's why.
So wait, you're saying the Shias donk and shit test the Sunnis by actually exposing their own scripture to them, and the Shias are separate because of the familiar divide, whatever it is, the cousin or the uncle, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. They made up their own hadiths that don't have Muhammad sucking off his grandson or dying of poison or Aisha getting fucked by some dude, obviously, and showing back up at the man camp, and everybody, the whole entire city is like, well, Aisha just showed up with some random guy because they were going across country or shit. And she stayed behind, and some young dude, strapping 25-year-old dude, rode her on a fucking horse all the way back to the city. And everybody's like, she's not allowed to be alone with that guy. Obviously, they were doing something. And had to be two witnesses, and there was two witnesses. And then Muhammad wakes up the next morning, and he's like, oh, Allah said there has to be 4 witnesses. Also, you can't say anything bad about Aisha. So they're like, yeah, we can't kill her. Sorry.
Have you seen that YouTube channel where it's like the 3D graphics, and it takes all the stories from the glorious Quran and the history of Muhammad and puts it into a very slow, crappy video, but nonetheless, you're just like, I can't believe this is what people actually read and believe and memorize and think about all the time. It's like, this is insane, and stupid, and I can't believe it, but that's how people, run their lives, I guess, in this part of the world.
And Sunni Islam, they have a hadith, the story about Muhammad, where he goes out in the desert, takes his companion, writes a circle around him, and then he says, stay here and do not leave the circle or you shall surely die. And then he goes off a stone's throw away, and these 8 Al-Zut guys from the South Persian, whatever, region down by the sea, and they're all 6'4" fucking black Indian dudes with these giant fucking hog dicks that could just fuck for hours, and they just ride Muhammad all fucking night. And then they come over to the circle, and for some reason they can't go inside the circle, but they're trying to grab his companion, and he's sitting down and hiding his ass. And then after they get done riding Muhammad all night, then Muhammad crawls over to his companion and lays his head down in his fucking lap.
Do you think it's metaphor though?
Yeah. So what they do is they say, oh, these Al-Zut men were not really men. They were really jinn. They were really demons. And the demons, they were torturing him. They were being mean to him and messing with him all night. So that's why he comes over all weak and his butt's hurting and he's crying about his ass hurting and, complaining about how they rode him all night and shit. No, it's clearly 8 fucking black dudes ran a train on Muhammad, and then he comes over and the other dude's getting cucked in the circle.
Well, I ask if it's metaphor because you can never actually have a conversation with a Muslim and say, isn't it a metaphor? Or is it a symbol for something? Or, these big donkey dick jinns. I mean, is there a mystical interpretation or is it literal? And they'll say, no, it is literal. And you're just like, the thing is, it doesn't make me question other faiths or religions. It says to me that this is the lowest quality religion of the 4 world religions. It's a little bit like going to Malcolm X Technical College on the South Side versus going to Princeton. There's a quality of education there which is lacking.
Apparently there was a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in Iran. People are saying it could be a nuclear bomb test. I don't believe it though. honest. Like, it shows on the USGS website, 51 kilometers southeast of Borajan. Why would they do 51 kilometers outside of a major city like that? Would make no fucking sense. So is that room finally done?
No, Marshall is holding it down. Marshall Stankin Rankin. He kicked me out at the very end. I asked him if he believes that the U.S. should continue sending weapons and money to Israel, and he kicked me immediately. But the thing about fake news is it really is so real that there's a lot of fake news created on both sides. But to me, like, to even watch the news now is like coming to Clown House, because you realize it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're going on the app for, right? I mean, if you're going into those rooms, then yeah, our group, we're friends. We come in here, we talk, catch up, and then we talk about what's going on and update each other, which I think is a lot more informative. But to go into those fucking rooms where it's just like the JB show or whoever else is leading the show, it's really pointless.
Well, it's a little bit like a psychological observational study where when you listen to them and you record, especially the terrorist supporters like Edward and Amir, I mean, I think there's real world consequences for a lot of the things they're saying, because they are making a lot of extremist racist comments about Jews, about Indians, and then spreading propaganda. So it's like, if you wanted to call the FBI or Department of Homeland Security at 188-555-FBI or whatever, and like report them, and get their location and provide them videos and say, is this legal? Because they did pass legislation, I think, restricting some of this type of online hate speech. So it's just a question of, are people willing to actually,
Where do you think he's been? Where's Cynic been? I haven't seen him in a while. Have you seen him?
Well, I reported him like 2 weeks ago, and he came back with a new party hat, and I asked him if he liked his new party hat. And I said, I'm sure you'll have another one. And, also Resistance. I haven't seen him, either. And
I saw him today.
You did? Oh, no.
He came into our room, yeah.
Did he have a party hat or no?
No, I'm talking about to the FBI, bro. I think Cynic has already been reported by some people on this app, bro. So I'm just wondering, like, has he actually been on the app again after getting that new account? Because I remember seeing it was a Hamas. His name was Hamas, but I haven't seen him in a while. Usually he's been on. He's pretty active,
The funniest thing is, if you could like get him on the phone or something, he'd be like, man, I'm done going on Clown House and debating with those clowns. It's a waste of my time and my effort and my intellect. It's below me, man. I'm done with it, man. Hello, ma'am. What's wrong with your laptop? How can I help you today? My name is Cynic Mikhail.
Oh, shit, man.
Can I put a Free Palestine sticker on your laptop?
Help the cause.
Where was the jiu-jitsu championship? Oh, Italy. Wow, so he had to get the medal in secret. That's cool. But yeah, to think that Iran isn't going to have earthquakes, I mean, it's like Los Angeles. They have an earthquake every fucking day,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very common there.
Did you?
Also, I think that after those bombings that Israel do, it just rush it up.
Yeah, it's like scratching a zit. Now it's all infected. Do you remember when Turkey had those earthquakes and those like 13-story, concrete buildings just pancaked on each other? Do you remember that devastation? That was wild. I mean, that's fucked up. Like, you realize it's not safe to build, concrete skyscrapers in earthquake zones. They just crumble.
Yeah, they should have learned from the Japanese.
Well, that would require intelligence and additional, engineering feats and capabilities that the average, concrete pourer does not have.
Oh man.
I don't know. This everybody on this app. It's like this war will go down as like another huge turnover on this app. Meaning, like the Trump election, leading like this is like the another major world event where everybody on this app has the wrong take, and they always end up being dead wrong completely, and they have to eat it, and then they just keep going on like it never happened, and there's some new topic. This truly is like a pot of shit. And it does it like every single day. There's just a new news event to drop in the turds with everybody here.
But I'm sorry, what's new about that? Like
Exactly.
that's the all the time. All the liberal, all the Democrats, all the lefties. It's the same exact show.
I know. I wonder like, but the thing is, they create a new show every single week, every single month, and so they determine the programming of the show in a way. But they just always get refuted because the truth is strength and power is what rules our reality, not these effeminate men on this app that run around screaming about the Jews. And have you been in Edward's room? Have you heard that one guy, the trans guy, who says, I'm in a bunker in Tel Aviv? Have you heard that guy?
No.
It's not me, but it is a very funny voice. It's some man who pretends to be pro-Palestine, and he does a trans voice. But Edward and Amir, they don't care. They just let him go, and they call everybody else, a faggot. But anyways, they are big organizers of hate speech on this app.
Hell yeah, they are. Also that guy Jack, bro, he's a fucking big piece of shit.
Yeah, he lives here in Chicago. He's like, you want to meet up and go to the protest? I was like,
really? He said that to you?
Thinking like, man, he'll shoot me, dump me in the river, let alone, why do I want to go hang out with you? I can come on here and talk to you 7 days a week. What the fuck?
Want to go grab a deep dish, bro?
I don't. This is all political, and it's unfortunate that everything is political, including war. But this is politics, and it's war at the same time. So it's going to have a political solution and a de-escalation. And I think Iran has been proven, to be. The point is they eliminated so much of the leadership that. It's like without a functioning brain, to issue all the commands, all the plebe soldiers are just in utter shock and dismay. So it's like putting a nail in the snake of a head, in the head of a snake, and the snake is still alive, but it's like it's got brain damage now,
It's still wiggling, yeah.
But the point is, the snake has been rendered. It's not coming back. It's not coming back from the injury. You know what I'm saying? It's like only a matter of time now before the snake dies.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing now, for sure. Like, first it was 200 rockets at one time, and now they're sending like 10, 15. So obviously they can't do what they were doing before. Or, like you said, they're running around not knowing what the fuck to do.
They caught him off guard so badly. This is like, you wake up the next day and you're like, what? Israel attacked Iran in a full assault, and you're like, you just can't even believe it. So like they were probably taken off guard so badly and put into such a state of panic. I mean, I could only imagine what like videos, from inside Iran look like. Just people filming shit in the streets, how they responded. I haven't seen any type of internal videos, but I don't know. I mean, did you see all those people on the highway? They looked like they got released from a prison. Did you see that video?
Yeah. They did, bro. There was prisons across the country that people were being they escaped, or like there was damage caused to it, and then they ran up to escape. But those are like people who are pretty much like what North Korea does with people who go against the regime. They put them into these into these prisons. That's what some Persian person said. I don't like on the app. I don't know how true that is or not, but yeah. So.
Isn't it wild? I mean, Syria fell, like that when Bashar Assad had to go to Russia, that to me was like, I can't believe this. Like, oh, in the blink of an eye, this shit happened. And the same shit could happen in Iran, and it really does look that way. Like, have you seen the Shah's son's videos on Instagram?
Yeah, he's talking all about that shit.
Well, what I'm saying,
dude, in Syria it was the same thing. Like, dude, they started releasing all the people from the prison and shit, bro. It was pretty much the same thing. So
Well, what I'm saying is the narrative or the back, all the pieces are coming together for a successful regime change and downfall of this dark period in Iranian history.
Yeah, just like how Golani was, stepping up to say, I'm going to pretty much take over the country. This is what the Shah's son is doing.
So I heard Amir yesterday saying that the Ayatollah can issue a fatwa, and then that'll activate the hundreds of Shia sleeper cells embedded throughout the West. And it's shit like that I feel like should be reported to the FBI.
FBI should be knocking on that motherfucker's door, bro.
Good idea.
Like, shit like that's scary that he says that. Like he has some insider shit.
Well, the fact that he relishes in the thought of innocent people dying, it's a psychopathology. Like, it is an index. He's very high on the psychoterrorist level, and the shit he says about things like that, you're like, why isn't the FBI listening in on this app? Or are they? And are they doing observations of these people? Because do they run nonprofits? Are they funneling money? Who else are they talking to? Like, who are they connected with in their community politically? I mean, there's a lot of network, about these people and why they're here. Like right now, I could probably go into anonymous mode and start recording Amir's daily propaganda distribution room about terrorism and supporting terrorism. He will.
The thing is, do you think that the FBI have enough resources to really maintain and monitor, stuff like that throughout the whole internet?
Oh, that's easy. The AI can do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they have something like that.
See, the thing is, it's about predicting activities prior to them actually happening. So it's like a little bit like Time Cop, where all this data goes and gets sent to that data center in Salt Lake City or at the CIA HQ. And after you do something, then they pull your fucking data. But in terms of like predicting what people are going to do, I mean, the thing is, it all becomes hyper political. So it's like, are they actually going to go knock on Amir's door? Or are they going to kick his door in? Like, how much is enough? Like, how long do you let people come on here and spread hate speech and terrorism speech all day long before the FBI starts kicking in people's doors and saying, okay, you got to come in for 30-day supervision. We're 5150ing you. And we're also holding you, you're going to have to get a habeas corpus kind of thing. Like, the government should take action against these online terrorists on this app and on X Spaces and elsewhere.
I agree with you, bro. It's fucking
The question, how far those liberal pieces of shit gonna take it to the freedom of speech?
Exactly. When can the police legally go in and do something?
Right. Because you're gonna need to deal with all those motherfuckers that's gonna come and try to look what happened with that Khalil piece of shit.
Yeah, they're from Colombia, yeah.
But
that shit's crazy, bro, honestly.
They didn't let him out. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, but they stopped them from being deported, bro. That's fucking crazy. Fucking stupid judges that we have here. It's really retarded. Well,
talk about us news and the buster busters.
We've been talking about it all day.
All right.